Welcome to this painting tutorial. In this video I will show you how I paint Black Legion Chaos Space Marines. This is hands down my favorite looking army in 40k. If you like this video or if you found it helpful, please leave a comment below, like the video and subscribe to my channel to see more videos. It really helps me out. There are many versions of the Black Legion Chaos Space Marine. Most of the time it's enough to only paint the shoulder pads on gold. In my army I paint most of the details in gold to make them seem more elite. And this tutorial focuses mostly on painting the gold details. I'm going to start with priming with surface primer, polyurethane, acrylic primer from Vallejo through an airbrush, or you can use a paintbrush if you would like. And I'm going to start with Leadbelcher to base coat all of the metal parts on the miniature. In my case there aren't very many, but most of the details on the lower body would be painted on silver if you are going for the traditional scheme for Black Legion. Here I am only base coating details on the chainsword, the different kinds of tubings and little details here and there that will look good on silver. Next, remember that you can use Vallejo model color black or Abbadon black to clean up the places if you painted where you shouldn't. Next, I'm going to use Baltasar gold to paint all of the gold areas. I'm using a mix of 1:1 with glaze medium and the metallic paints. I thin down all of my metallic paints with medium instead of water, because the metallic flakes act a little weird when you are only using water. They disperse a lot on the paint and they don't cover as well as if you have some sort of medium. So I would recommend you to get some sort of acrylic medium. Glaze medium I think is not the best, but that's what I have. But it also works if you would like to use that. It's also worth noting that you shouldn't use this paint out of the pot, because you will create a thick layer of paint that won't look like part of the model. And I'm using some sort of thinning medium or just water to thin down all of the paints that I'm using in this tutorial. None of these metallic paints are painted straight from the pot. They all have a little bit of glaze medium on them. Also, I've been using from the start a size 2 Kolinsky brush, which can be comparable to the base coat brush from GW or the standard brush. Once that's done, I'm going to use Mephiston red, and with this color I'm going to paint the hair on the lower part of the blade, and I'm going to base coat the eyes. Once that all of the base coats are done, I'm going to start washing the model. For that I'm going to use Nuln oil, and this color I'm going to use it on all of the metallic parts that are not gold. Also I'm going to use it on the red. You could use scarlet crimson on the red, but it's just a not significant part of the model that I decided to use the Nuln oil to give it a darker shade. If you would like to paint other parts on this Chaos Space Marine models, you can see that many of them have different details like bone and stuff like that. You can use my other tutorials, like the World Eaters tutorials, to see how I paint bone, or my other Chaos Space Marines that have those sort of details. You can see them there. It's basically the same thing. Here I'm using Reikland Flesh Shade to shade the gold parts on the model. Of course, using the shades is very easy. Just mop it into the areas that you would like to shade, and the shade will do its job and just get in the crevices on the model. Once that is all dry, I'm going to use Eshin Gray to edge highlight all of the edges of the model. There aren't too many. The most time consuming part is the backpack, which has a lot of edges. If you will not like to do this, you can just skip it, but if you decide to do it, it really makes the edges of the black pop out and look like define them from one another, and you won't see just one black model. You will actually see the edges well highlighted. Here I'm using a detail brush, and I'm thinning the paint about 1:1 with water. Not thin enough so that it lost some sort of opacity, but just thin enough to flow on the edges, from the brush to the edges of the model. Once that's done, I'm going to further highlight the edges with Dawnstone. This color is only going to be used on the very sharpest edges of the black to make them pop out a lot more. The previous color, Eshin Gray, was a little bit hard to see, but it's a good base color to make a good transition through the black for the Dawnstone. You can see here that I'm picking the edges which would catch more light. I'm trying to pick them out, and all of the edges, the sharp edges on them in the armor. Now that that's done, I'm going to use Evil Sunz Scarlet, and with this I'm going to color in the eyes and the hair on the lower part of the sword. Sorry about the sword there, it's kinda obstructing the view, but I tried to paint the front half part of the lens of the helmet, and with a dry brush I am dry brushing the hairs on the sword. You could go and color highlighting one by one each hair strand, but I just wanted to save a little bit of time here. Next I'm going to use Wild Rider Red, and this is going to be used on the very front part of the lens. It's kind of hard to see because of the chainsaw that I have here. And I'm going to dry brush it on the lower part of the hair of the sword. Next, I'm going to highlight the metallic silver parts with Ironbreaker. This color is thinned down a little bit with glaze medium, about 1:1. Of course, you can use any other sort of medium. I already explained that in the beginning of this video. But it's simple enough. Just try to catch the most raised parts of the silver parts and just highlight them with this color. Next, I'm going to start highlighting the gold with Gehena's gold, and this is going to go all over the gold parts, just leaving the very deepest recesses on the previous color. this is actually going to go onto all of the gold areas, just leaving the deepest recesses and just trying to cover the whole thing again, like a cleanup, because after the shade that we used on the gold lost most of its shininess, and we're trying to bring it back with this color. This color is a little bit reddish gold, and I'm going to highlight the gold to a very shining gold. So I'm going to start using Auric armor gold, and this color I'm going to use it on the most raised areas of the gold, not all of the gold like the previous parts, but on the most exposed to light on the other side of the places. But this color I'm not such a huge fan because it looks very yellow. Previously I just stopped here and thought that the miniature was done, but I'm going to use another step after this, which would be mixing the Auric armor gold with Runefang steel, and it's going to be the last highlight and this miniature will be done. So what you're trying to do here is just pick up the most exposed parts of the gold areas, paint them with the Auric armor gold, and after that I'm going to mix in Auric armor gold with Runefang steel. 2 parts gold, 1 part steel, and this is going to go on the very most exposed parts, but just a little bit on the sharpest edges and most exposed parts, leaving a little bit of the Auric armor gold showing. But this silverish gold is gonna tone down the yellow look of the Auric armor gold, and it's gonna look like shining gold. In my opinion, it looks a lot better than just finishing with the Auric armor gold. It looks much more like genuine gold, and I like the look very much. So this is all that I did for this tutorial. I hope you liked the miniature at the end. It's in my opinion it looks very nice. Even in any sort of lighting, the gold looks very good. And I like it so much that I'm actually making this army. This is my main army, although I have some other ones that I'm not really making much progress on them. I try to paint Black Legion in my spare time, and this is my favorite army, hands down, as I said at the beginning of this video. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope this video helped you out if you wanted to paint Black Legion or gold details on your armors. This is a very nice way to do it, in my opinion. A little bit time consuming, yes, I'll give you that, but we're not here to save time. This is a hobby and I enjoy it very much. I hope you do too. And if you like the video, please like it, comment on it. If you have any questions, post them below, and feel free to check out my Facebook page, which is in the description below, and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos. Doing this stuff really promotes my channel and helps me out. And if you like my content and you would like me to do more of it, doing that, it's really helpful. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.